if you've been locked in your home for the last 60, 70, whatever it is, days, with the biggest political hoax the coronavirus, and quarantined there at the house, and your old cabinetry has finally gotten your attention, you know what that means? It means it's time to call Cabinet Express online and let them get you some new cabinets. Whether it's a custom job or ready-to-assemble cabinetry, it will be custom for your kitchen. And we all know everybody likes a good custom. So, okay, so we're back. We just talked about Mr. Frampong over at Georgia wanting to kill Whitey. And there's nothing like a good, some good racism to start the morning, and some hate crimes to get us really, really dialed in. But when we left, we were talking about Joe Rogan. Do you know who Joe Rogan is?
Yes,
Dallas? You
for
do,
sure.
Right? Okay, good. Who's Joe Rogan?
So he's the UFC guy.
That's good. He's the UFC guy. Well, yes, that is part of what he is, certainly. And that's probably what he's best known for. But now he sits around and shoots the bull for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours at a time. And he's the biggest podcaster in the world. And so he just got $100 million from, I almost said Spotify. Shopify is where you go to get, something off Etsy. Spotify is so he got $100 million. Why am I so hot? I'm sorry, I'm super hot right now. Why is that? There we go. It hurt my ears, man. What's going on? We got problems over there? We got technical problems. So Joe Rogan is anyways, he's the biggest podcaster in human history. And so he came out, I guess, yesterday, and said, if you wear a mask, you're a female dog. And while I don't know that I love I don't know if I love his language, but I certainly love his sentiment, because here's the reality. He's willing to and say things that people are unwilling to say. And I know that a lot of times the coronavirus, even on this station, the coronavirus is something that numbers get harped on, numbers get wore out. And while numbers are, I'm not saying they're not factual numbers, but the representation of the numbers is entirely up to, well, I mean, look, I could make it sound right now like, using facts, using real numbers, I can make it sound like we're all going to die and we need to, take shelter in our underground bunker and never take our masks off. I could also make it sound like it's not that big of a deal, and all using factual, real numbers. And so, the reality is, if we look at the hospitalizations and the deaths, the numbers are on their way down, period. There's nothing, new cases, well, no joke, because we're testing everybody. Literally, and we'll come back to this, but there's a little baby girl over at my son's daycare that, they're testing 3 and 4 year olds. They're testing everybody. The numbers are gonna go up. But Joe Rogan gets comedian Bill Burr. Anyways, they're sitting there smoking a schmigar on his podcast, and he starts talking about how he's worried about them locking them down. He said, I'm initially fearful of the virus. This is good. To the point of apparently experiencing psychosomatic symptoms. And he wants to call the guy that wears a mask a bee. Get out of here, dog. Joe Rogan, you're an idiot. You might be a well-paid idiot, but you're an idiot. We need to have a segment called You're an Idiot.
Just break down the idiots.
Yeah, just pick
for the day.
There's different different segments out there talking about what are you hating on, and I was listening to that yesterday. And great job, right? I've been in radio for less than 24 hours now, or I guess 25 hours now, and so listening to Dale's show, I was trying to get some great ideas, and I love the way he does his segment. So maybe we need to start a You're an Idiot segment.
Yeah, let's work on that.
Okay, cool. Connor, it's your turn. Who's an idiot? No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to put you on the spot like that, man. Because he would have said me. So anyways, he starts talking to Bill Burr about this, and he's like, I'm worried about him locking things down. Someone's got to step in and lock them down. Lock down the old and sick people. Let regular people do whatever the beep they want. You can't just lock people's freedom down for something that killed a small fraction of what you thought it was going to kill. Okay, so that's where I want to land, right there. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Now, I don't love Joe Rogan. Quite frankly, I think he's appalling. I've tried to listen to his podcast 2 or 3 times. Look, I enjoy good entertainment, but unnecessary F-bomb droppage will get me booted in a heartbeat, okay? And he has gotten I can't deal with it. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong. We were talking about 2 million people. Then it was a couple 100,000 people. And then the CDC comes out and says, oops, we were wrong by 60,000 in our recording. And now they want everyone to wear a mask. I was made to wear a mask yesterday. I have post-traumatic stress.
Where did they force you to wear a mask at?
Guitar Center.
Really?
Yeah. And all right, so here's how it went down. You ready?
Okay.
Everybody close your eyes. Except for those of you that are driving. Please don't close your eyes. So I walked into the Guitar Center. I went over there to get a pop filter. If you listened to the show yesterday, it was like the whole time. And so I went and got a pop filter. The pop filter that you're looking at right now, if you're watching online at thehometownheartbeat.com, I went and got a pop filter. And as I walked in, first of all, they don't open till noon, which they blame on COVID. I'm like, do you not like money? Anyways, I go in the door, and this nice lady with like purple hair hands me a mask. And I said, oh, thank you. That's sweet, but I'm good. And I hand it back. And she's like, no, you have to wear that. And I was like, what? Huh? She was like, yeah, you got to wear that. It's company policy. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, you got to wear that. It's company policy. I'm like, huh? She's like, no, for real, sir, put that on. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. Are you serious? Like, you want to put? Why do you even put this on? There's literally nobody in here but you, and I'm not gonna get close enough to you to breathe on you, cough on you, whatever. I ain't coughed. I'm not coughing. I'm not sick. What?
I'm gonna guess you ended up putting it on.
I did, because I'm a nice person, but it was stupid. Like, what? Are you serious? You want me to wear them? Why do you want me to wear it? Even the CDC, and they don't know the difference between their butthole and a hole in the ground. Even the CDC says don't wear a mask unless you're sick. But we're all going to wear a mask. It's a company policy because we want to placate the left. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Hey, you're an idiot. I feel like that's a common theme today.
The Guitar Center? No,
people are idiots.
Oh, people.
Yeah, are idiots. Not just people. People are idiots. Dallas, are you awake this morning? You started off hot. Now you're in la la land. Wake up! Oh man. Okay. Yeah. I mean, look. I don't want to. Look. If you have something to say to me right now, or you're an idiot and you want to be called one, just give us a call. 678 on radio. Call in 678 on radio. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation, because I'm curious as to if people out there agree with me. Like, even the CDC says unless you're treating coronavirus patients, you shouldn't wear a mask. So, why are we running around with masks on, like looking like we're in a horror movie with, why are we running around with masks on for no reason? To placate. That's all it is. That's all it is. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. And I don't really like, forcing people to have to wear a mask. I think
it's like that caller yesterday. They took away my civil liberty. It's my civil liberty not to wear a mask, by
That's
God.
right.
And to smoke a cigarette wherever I want.
Yeah,
I love that guy, by the way. Call back, guy. You're a good, great caller. Great caller. Good fans here on the show. Listen, check us out, thehometownheartbeat.com. Go there and watch. This is a live show on, there's video of this now. So you can watch us do this, which you're missing out if you're not, because we're awesome. I'm looking right at the camera for those. I forgot we're on radio. Look, give us a call. 678 on radio. 678 on radio. Let's talk about the coronavirus, because honestly, I want to hear what people have to say, because I've been saying this from day one. Like, when our podcast started, Hometown Heartbeat, the show, started in the coronavirus. Like, we started out of this coronavirus, this pandemic, because people were sitting at home needing content. And so we said, when you've got a gift, don't waste it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hog it. Share it with the world. And so we decided to educate the world. And here we are, some 60-something episodes later on the radio. And so from day one, our position on Hometown Heartbeat has been, hey, we don't know what this is. We're scared of this. Okay, great. No problem. Let's be cautious. And then, follow the science. Okay, we found the science. Paging Dr. Fauci. And then now we know it's not like the mortality rate's going to end up being right there with the flu. I said it. It's not going to be any worse than the flu. There, I said it. I got it out.
No, and I think you're right. And I think with the more testing that we're doing, and the more people that you're finding have the disease, they're not dying. They don't even know they're sick.
Follow the science, Dallas. Like, I'm trying to, but the science is changing every day. You know why? Because the CDC. You're an idiot. Like, it's crazy. Listen, I don't know what we have to do to get some common sense in this world. I just don't know what we have to do. Apparently, it's impossible. It's impossible. There's going to be no common sense in this world, and that's just how it's going to be. The coronavirus, not that big a deal. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. That's not a great way to leave. I don't know where we're going, but it's a big deal to those who have lost somebody. And we've lost too many lives. I get that. But at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. Hometown Heartbeat, we'll be back soon. that's a good one. Dallas is, wait for it. I'm watching his head. Oh, and he got it. There he is. He got it. Thanks for that. Hey, welcome to the show, Dallas. The choppy Chaz, the Chazzy Chop, as we talked about yesterday. Faced with growing pressure to crack down on an occupied protest zone, Seattle's mayor said Monday that officials will move to, quote, wind down the blocks-long span of city streets taken over that Donald Trump asserted is run by anarchists. Well, that's not an assertion. That's a fact, just to be clear. And I mean, not a Donald Trump, fanboy by any stretch over here. But he's not wrong. That's what it's called. Anarchy. There were 2 shootings over the weekend, and Raz the Warlord decided that the EMTs needed to come in and address the shootings. It's like, what, Mr. Autonomous is not very autonomous. And so they have finally decided they're going to take it down. So what's going to happen here? What's going to happen? I'm asking you, Dallas, what's going to happen? I mean, how are they going to do this? How are they going to wind it down? Are they going to go in with force?
See, I still think they do.
Do they have to is the real question.
I don't think they have to, but I think they're going to end up doing it. And I thought before that they were going to have to, and then, you brought up the point that they could barricade that area and basically suffocate them there.
So, you starve them out. The old siege tactic, right? Like if you surround the castle and you don't let supplies in and out, they're going to starve, right? Because people have to import-export things. But now, this mayor has been deferent towards this. Honestly, not deferent. That's not the right word. Deferent is not a. It's too mild of a word. He's been supportive almost, right? Of this anarchy movement in Seattle, and quite frankly, it's appalling as an American. Like I vote, take their citizenship away. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. But really, it would be if they're autonomous and they're not part of the United States. Then, it's like Coach Prater said yesterday. Then we need to. Now it becomes an issue of foreign policy.
Let's recognize them as a
as a third world country and let them apply for citizenship to come back across the border. Seriously, that's what they wanted. So on Sunday night, there was a shooting. It was the second in less than 48 hours. 17-year-old victim. On Saturday, a 19-year-old man was shot and died. Another one critically wounded. The victims were taken to a hospital, not in the autonomous zone. So, no longer the autonomous zone.
Oh, they don't have hospitals there?
No, not in that 6-block radius. They do have a police station, though.
So did they take over a police station?
Yeah. Yes, correct. And the mayor, who has now Dallas just dropped his headphones on the microphone. The mayor, who is now saying, we're going to take back the autonomous zone, is the one that told the police to leave their station. Abandon ship, she said. Hey, mayor, you're an idiot. I'm on a roll this morning. But when you see it, you got to call it, right? Call it like it is. I just don't understand. I just don't understand how, as Americans, we're going to allow a 6-block patch of dirt in one of the largest cities in the country to become foreign soil at the hands of insurrectionists. By the way, hey, I want you to understand this. The people that took that, Dungeons and Raz, he and his merry band of idiots will be voting for politicians. They will be choosing the men and women that make policy in their state and locally and nationally. That's terrifying. That is absolutely, utterly terrifying. The fact that we've gotten to a point in our country, in our society, where we allow Raz the Warlord to run rampant in the streets without any recourse, no action. We wait for him to kill 3 people in their autonomous zone before we do anything about it. That mayor should be indicted on charges, criminal charges. No question in my mind. No question in my mind. Listen, if you have something to say to me, you need to call right now. 678 on radio or 1-866-494-WVNN. Give us a call this morning and let's talk about Raz the Warcraft Warlord and what's going on in the chop. You are listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana. Check us out, thehometownheartbeat.com, thehometownheartbeat.com for the live stream or live on Facebook at Hometown Heartbeat. We will be right back. 678 on radio. 678 on radio. Dallas is standing by to screen your calls. First, we have Eric on line 2. Eric, welcome to the best morning show on Talk Radio, Hometown Heartbeat, with your bearded, beautiful host, Zach Walker. How can I help you?
Hey, Zach, man, you're cracking me up, man. You're cracking me up, man. You're right. They need to be – what you need to do after you take their citizenship, Seattle, deport the mayor and the governor.
Yeah, we'll just deport them into their own autonomous zone. Just deport them into their third world country they've set up there in Seattle. I love it, Eric. You're absolutely right. It's not American. It's an insurrection. And what do you do about it? What do you do about it?
They crazy. Hey, and then Trump needs to tell them that they need to pay their fair share.
Yeah, they got to pay their taxes. That's right. We got. Hey, let's. I mean, and we'll start. Hey, we'll start putting some. We'll start levying taxes on their imports and exports, and start. I mean, we can make it really difficult if they want to be autonomous. Eric, I think we should show them what autonomous really means.
I'm serious. If they're dead serious, I'm serious too. You're right, man. You're hilarious.
Well,
but I do want to say this. It's sad, and my heart goes out to the young people that got killed. I mean, it's just awful. That mayor, you're right, does need to be brought up on charges. I mean, it's awful.
No, look, Eric. I'm not an old man. I'm 33. I'm a young guy. My mama used to tell me all the time, son, if you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're gonna get your hair did, right? And so, at the end of the day, while I certainly grieve for the loss of life, because life is inherently from God, and He intimately knows the hair on every head that of every person He's created in His image, in His likeness, and so certainly you're right. Grieve for those lost lives, but the reality is, if you play dumb games, you get dumb prizes. And so, my thought on that, Eric, is that we gotta do a better job at educating young Americans. We've got to do a better job at making sure they understand. And that's what's so terrifying about erasing history. That's what's so terrifying about ripping down monuments and just destroying history, is that history exists to protect us from repeating the same mistakes.
Exactly. Now, let me ask you this, Zach. Isn't that against the law, pulling down those monuments like that?
Well, yeah, it is. But the law doesn't matter. The law doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, Eric. I mean, all right. So the answer is yes. There is a fine in the state of Alabama. There is a fine that you have to pay if a monument is moved or torn down, and you can actually do it the right way. Which I've got no problem with
exactly.
Cities that want to do it the right way and move the monument to some kind of a Confederate memorial or cemetery or something like that. But to just rip them down without cause is absolutely illegal.
And deface them. I mean, that's a crime. And now what I'm trying to understand is, why is the authorities, why are they allowing this? I'm being rhetorical, because I know it's because of November 3rd.
Well, yes, it is, but it isn't. I mean, it is about November 3rd, but what it really is patronizing the black community. That's what they're doing. All they're doing is, because they don't mean it, Eric. They don't mean it. It's not something they are placating and patronizing the black community by acting like they care. Because the reality is, if you look at the measure of policy in a politician's voting record, you're going to see what they truly believe about equality and about freedom. And so all they're doing right now is placating and patronizing, and quite frankly, it's offensive.
I agree with you, and like you said, all we got to do is look at the voting record. I tell you what, Donald Trump hit the nail on the head when he said that I did more for the black community, African American, whatever the heck you want to call them, in 4 years than Joe Biden did in 47 years. And then all the black community got to do is go on YouTube, Google, whatever, and the truth is there. And it's like they're ignoring the truth because they're listening to the lies of race. He racist. And we ask them, well, why is he racist? They can't give you no substantive answers. What about what he just did with the HBCUs? What about what he did with the unemployment rate in the community of African Americans and Mexican Americans? What about the unemployment rate going down? What about the job zones? The business zones. I forget what they actually call it.
Opportunity zones.
Opportunity zones. I mean, these are things. These are substantive things that has been done in his 3.5 years. That you had Bill Clinton, you had Obama, George Bush. They haven't done this stuff. And yes, it's not resolved completely yet. But heck, it's been over 40 something years.